Welcome to Bad Gear, the show about the world's most hated audio tools. Every generation has its Roland flagship synth, the one that started it all, the one with the presets, the one who knew how to party, and it more or less went downhill from there. Today we are going to talk about the V-Synth. This range of zero-year synthesis, sample mangling, sound transformation and voice processing tools in a box, represented here by the 2005 XT, is based on technology from a time when Roland still at least tried to create innovative stuff. Seems like this didn't make that much sense from a business perspective. At the first glance, the XT is ticking all the boxes. A massive rack synth revolving around an antique ATM touchscreen. That isn't as bad as you might think, but the scaled down set of physical controls consisting of backlit buttons, a main encoder, and slightly wobbly knobs is missing the double D-beam and sniper scope pad of the original. The native engine is surprisingly conventional. 24 voices of polyphony are munched away by versatile dual oscillator sound generators. You can carve subtractive tones from standard waveforms and their hi-fi versions, noise, and waves inspired by classics like Juno's, the D-50 and JP-8K. The less demanding models come with a sub-oscillator. There are plenty of modulation facilities with a dedicated LFO per oscillator and type-specific options like FAT. These raw VA tones can be replaced by an external source, and this is where all this gets really interesting: an audio file either taken from the factory library, sampled onto the machine, or imported from a compact flashcard or via USB. While most sample players up to this point were limited to Exorcist
and chipmunk sound effects,
at the more extreme pitch ranges, the VariPhrase technology taken from the VP-8000 allows for elastic real-time manipulation of pitch, time,
and performance,
and offers robot tempo sync and various playback modes. Cowabunga! You can apply 2 ring modulation variations, FM, and put this cocktail through filters. But you don't have to. There are 2 multi-FX units based on COSM algorithms that go well beyond the conventional low pass. They can be arranged in 3 different configurations and again come with a dedicated LFO each. Another LFO and envelope for amplitude, a monstrous late 90s guitar multi-FX. That's it.
For now.
This behemoth can be addressed multitimbrally, played with a simple arpeggiator, and modulated with a step sequencer and virtual time trip pad. Presets are well organized but implementation of the drum sounds is a bit weird. While first-gen V-Synths had to be pimped using expansion cards, 2 of them are pre-installed on the XT. You can switch the instrument to a D-50 mode with Fantasia, Pizza Go-Go, and a lo-fi converter emulation or turn it into a vocoding, harmonizing, we will explore further in today's Patron Vocoder Shoutout. This humongous arsenal of sound creation artillery is only barely held together by the arcane processor of the instrument. Switching between modes in a live set is not for the faint of heart. There are zipper noises, parameter tweaks can be sluggish, and the Windows 95 desktop aesthetics go well with the menu diving we love so much. In addition to the XT and the aforementioned original, Roland also released the GT in 2007, which comes with 2 V-Synth engines, higher polyphony count, and as is tradition, it seems like our favorite synth manufacturer messed it up in the execution. The rear panel is truly epic, V-Synths don't come cheap, and thanks to Mario Reithofer of TSAMM for this gem from his exquisite collection. In a time when DAWs were taking the world of sound design by storm, Roland's V-Synth seemed both futuristic and anachronistic at the same time. Is there a place for this powerful 0 years oddity in modern music production? You have already heard the XT in today's intro tune. That sounds very digital, but definitely packs some punch. I wanna know how tweakable the synth engine actually is. Interesting, although the VA section is far from analog sounding, the overall tone is musical and big. The range of achievable sounds is huge. Let's sample a distant cousin of the V-Synth and try to squeeze as many patches as possible into the second jam. There's a lot to unpack here. The D-50 engine is spot on, many classic Roland tones are easily accessible, and using custom waveforms works like a charm. Vocal Designer didn't age so well, but definitely sounds unique. I think it has become obvious that I played it safe in the first 2 jams. Time to explore the more experimental side of the instrument in this meta-biological megacorp cyberpunk techno anthem. Verdict. V-Synths are, without a doubt, one-of-a-kind instruments. A big chunk of yesteryear's high-tech, chock full of formerly cutting-edge sound design possibilities from a time when computers were rapidly getting better at most tasks it was originally designed for. At least at a surface level, they are hopelessly outdated. The touchscreen can't hold a candle to a modern iPad, VariPhrase is put to shame by Ableton's granular approach, and the overall tone of the synth engine is lost in the uncanny valley between late 90s VA glory and contemporary plugin goodness. However, as soon as you surrender yourself to the awkwardness of the synth, it starts spitting out pro-level sounds at the intersection of Roland cheesiness, 0 years futurism, and experimental sound exploration. V-Synths might be an acquired taste, but they are the living proof that Roland is capable of designing instruments with a somewhat decent display. Thanks for watching and see you you next time! Hey guys, I hope you enjoyed the episode. Feel free to like, subscribe, become a patron and leave a comment what other kind of gear you would like to see and hear on the show. Thanks to all my patrons for supporting the channel and welcome to the monthly Vocoder shoutouts. Finally, the Roland V-Synth XT Vocal Designer, Tier 4.
Thomas Tiefenbach, Siriam, Glitching, Chris Sabolinsky, Silicon Bassist, Rocco Misco, Polaroid of the Pyramids, Marino Scribanovan,
Tier 6.
Dagobert and Michelson, Star.
Again, thank you so much for supporting the channel. See you next month.